for today's class, we'll need at least, you don't need it, but it's always nice to have one little block. If you have one little block around, set it up at the front of your mat perhaps, and remember that you can use the block at any time, not only when I'm asking you to do or directing you to do. And just a reminder that you do you, whatever feels best on your body. And if you choose to just lay down in your Shavasana for the whole class, that is a-okay. I will encourage you to do that. All right, why don't we go ahead, everyone, and start laying down on your back. I will play some music for myself. And the reason why I'm not sharing the music anymore is because YouTube keeps on copyrighting our videos. So there you go. Also, a reminder that if you do not wish to be on camera, please feel free to not share your screen or your video. It's all good. Let's begin by laying down on your mat. You can have your feet on the ground or your legs extended on the ground. Take any kind of movements that you need and start connecting with your breath. Acknowledging that your breath is your movement right now. Notice how your chest rises every time you inhale and drops every time we exhale. Let us all together take a couple of breaths. You can bring one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly. And let's inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom for 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold the bottom for 3, 2, 1. Take a full inhale, that's all yours. And let it all go. Reach your arms overhead beside your ears and take a nice lengthy stretch. Inhale to arch your back, point your toes, and exhale to let it all go. One more time. Inhale, reach on opposite ends as long as you can. Fake a yawn and let it all go. Inhale one more time. And on your exhale, bring your knees to your chest. Take any movements that you need. Swing from side to side. Give a little massage to your lower back. Any kind of circles that you need. On your next exhale, extend your left leg long on the ground. Keep your right knee up to your chest. Bring your hands up on top of your knee. Take a nice inhale and center. And on your exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and bring your head, your nose to your knee. Inhale to center. One leg is extended. Exhale, knee to nose, or rather nose to knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, nose to your knee. Stay there for an inhale. And exhale, kick your heel up to the ceiling. Lower your head down to the mat. Inhale to cross your leg a little bit past center. And exhale to make a big circle down and around with your leg. Oops, the block fell. Inhale to center. Exhale, big circle. We're starting to warm up our core. Inhale to center. Exhale for circle. Bring your hands behind your leg, whether it's on your hamstrings, on your calf, or on your ankle. Take a nice inhale on your mat, and on your exhale, start to climb up your leg as much or as little as you can, and come back down. You can go all the way up to sitting. Inhale and center. Exhale to climb. Inhale to center. One last time. Exhale to climb and hold in there. Wherever you are, make tiny little circles with your leg in any direction. If you can, look at your belly. And once you had enough, come back down to the mat, bend at your knee, and find half a happy baby. Elbow inside your knee, holding your foot on the outside. Relax that front of the hip. Take any movements that you need. You can also rock here, or just continually press down your knee towards the ground. Let go of your leg and stretch that leg long on the floor. Switch your knees onto the other side. Bring your hands up to your left knee. Take a nice inhale on your mat, and on your exhale, tuck your chin to your chest. Bring your nose to your knee. Inhale to center. Exhale to knee. Remembering that with every inhale to center, we expand like a balloon. And on your exhale, we compress everything towards your center. Stay here for a full inhale. And on your exhale, kick your heel up through the ceiling. Lower your head to the mat. Inhale to cross your leg a little bit past center. And exhale to make a big circle down and around. Don't be afraid to make it big. Inhale to center. Exhale down and around. Notice how your whole core is starting to engage. Inhale to center and last circle. Bring your hands behind your leg. Take a nice inhale on your mat, and on your exhale, start to climb up your leg. It doesn't matter how high you go. And come back down. Inhale and center. Exhale to climb. Sometimes we'll go all the way to sitting. Sometimes we will not. And that is okay. Last time, come all the way up and stay there. Make tiny little circles with your leg. Look at your belly button. See your belly shaking. It's all good. God bless the shake. When you're ready, come back down to the mat. Bend at your knee. Find your half a happy baby. Your elbow is on the inside, and you're reaching on the outside of your foot. Take a nice inhale in here. And a full exhale. Stay here with your leg and bring your other leg onto your full happy baby expression. Take a couple of rocks from side to side. And when you're ready, bring your heels to touch. And now we're going to take a nice inhale in here. You can reach onto your ankles instead of your feet right now. Take a nice inhale and center, and on your exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and start rolling like a ball. We're rolling like a ball all the way until you find your seated position and eventually your tabletop. Good old Pilates, yoga lattes. Once you're in your tabletop position, let's go to a round of cats and cows. You're gonna inhale, drop your belly towards the ground, look up to the ceiling, and exhale, find your cat. Continue going with these cats and cows on your own timing, at your own breath, and do feel free to find any sort of shapes funky movements, weird patterns, figure eights, letter S, letter Z for all that, for all I know. Anything that you want to do, take it as a nice spine massage. You can flutter your lips at any time. You can dangle, let your head dangle. You make sure that you're still breathing. On your next exhale, come back to your neutral position, tuck your toes under, and hover your knees off the ground. Take a nice inhale in here. Exhale, pike your hips up to the ceiling, downward facing dog. Guess what? Inhale, come back to your hover. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, back to your hover. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now this one is all yours. Take any movements that you need. Wiggle your hips. I like to wiggle my hips just for fun. Shake your head, yes and no. And when you're ready, take tiny little steps to the front of your mat. Meet me on a passive forward fold. Bend your knees a lot. Let your belly rest on your legs. You can grab for opposite elbows, or you can step on your hands. Relax the top of your head towards the ground. You can also shake yes and no. You can do little bounces with your hips. Really let go of all that pressure behind your neck. When you are ready, keep your knees bent and roll up to standing very slowly. Inhale, reach your arms up and your right knee up to hip height. Exhale, forward fold, bring your foot back to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands down, step into your plank, one foot and then the other. Take a nice inhale in here. And on your exhale, tap your knees down, lower yourself all the way to the ground. Roll your shoulders up and down and back. And inhale for a baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. A little bit bigger every time. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes under, hips go up to the ceiling, downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale on your dog. On your exhale, come to your hover and then step forward. Whenever you're ready, roll all the way up to standing. Inhale, reach your arms up. This time your left knee up to hip height. And your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, put your hands down, step into your plank. Inhale in here. Either tap your knees or not, and lower yourself all the way to the ground. Inhale to roll your shoulders up and down. Exhale to settle. Take a nice inhale for baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Find the wavy motion on your spine. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Inhale, baby cobra, and we're going to stay there. Now, bring your hands beside your ribs. Stretch your arms as much as you can. And power up on your legs so that your knees lift off the ground into an upward dog, upward facing dog. And your next exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, come to your hover and step all the way to the front of the mat. Roll all the way up to standing. Inhale, no knees up this time. Right away, exhale for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, put your hands down, hop, step, or walk into your Chaturanga Dandasana or all the way to the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, reach your right heel up to the ceiling. And on your exhale, bring your knee to your left elbow. Inhale to reach long to the ceiling, keep your hips square. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold in here. And on your exhale, step in between your hands, tap your back knee down to the ground, come to your low lunge. Bring your hands behind your head, and you're gonna pivot on your knee so that your heel lifts and opens everything to the side. You can keep those back toes pointed or tucked, whatever feels best for you. Inhale on center, and on your exhale, you're going to hinge to your right leg and make a big circle down and around. Inhale in center. Exhale to hinge and circle. Try to make it a little bit bigger every time. Last time, inhale to hinge, inhale in center, exhale to hinge. Sorry about that. Come back to your center. Twist towards the front of the mat. Press your hands down and come back to your low lunge. Inhale to look up and exhale to hinge at your hips for your half splits. We're going to inhale, come back up. This time, scoot your back knee behind your right heel and sit down on the ground. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling on your inhale and circle it down and down for a seated twist. Your left hand hugs your right knee. Making sure that both of your sit bones are on the ground. With every inhale, we lengthen our spine, and with every exhale, we twist a little bit deeper. When you're ready, come back to center, bring your hands in front of you, and just take a little momentum to bring your weight all the way forward and find your standing splits. Take a nice inhale in here. And on your exhale, bring your knee to your nose on a cocoon shape. Inhale to reach long, almost on a halfway lift. Exhale for your cocoon. Really getting those core muscles. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, find your cocoon, and then step your left foot beside your right. Sit your hips low and find your chair pose, Utkatasana. You thought it was over? Inhale, reach long. On your exhale, swing your arms down and back. Rest your belly on your thighs. Inhale to reach up and long. Exhale to hinge over. Keep on breathing. Inhale to reach up and long. Stretch your legs, and on your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, put your hands down, hop, step, or walk to your Chaturanga Dandasana or all the way down to the ground. Bring your upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale in here and exhale to settle. On your next inhale, lift your left heel up to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, elbow to heel to ceiling. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose. Stay here for an inhale. And on your exhale, step in between your hands, tap your back knee down, come to your low lunge, hands behind your head, making sure that those hands and that head, it's always tucked together. Take a nice inhale, and on your exhale, pivot on your knee, open everything towards the side of your mat. Inhale in center, making sure your tailbone is long down to the floor. And exhale, hinge to your front leg, down and around for a circle. Inhale to center. Exhale to hinge and circle. Feeling that massage on your lower back. Inhale, center. Exhale, hinge, circle. And inhale, center. Look toward the front of the mat. Bring your hands to frame your foot and find your low lunge. Inhale, look up to the ceiling, open your chest. Exhale to hinge at your hips for your half splits. One tip that I like to do in here is really feeling like I'm sticking my bum out so that I can get a little bit more stretch on my hamstring. Yeah, and it doesn't matter how low you go with your bum. Come back to your lunge and shove your back knee behind your front heel. Sit down on the mat. Take your left hand up to the ceiling, lengthen your spine and circle it down and towards the floor. You can always have that hand behind your back for a little bit more accessible grip. Hug that front knee with your right arm and find your twist. On your next exhale, come back to center, reach long towards the front of your mat and take a big swing so your leg goes all the way up to the ceiling on standing splits. Take a full inhale in here. And on your exhale, bring your knee to your nose in your cocoon shape. It's all about the core today. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening on opposite sides. Exhale to come to your nose, knee to nose. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, the tightest knee to nose you've ever done, and then step your feet together. Take a nice inhale in here. Sit your hips low, circle your arms down and around into your chair pose, second side. I feel like we didn't hold that much in the first side. On this pose, you want to feel like your sitting bones are going far apart and that your weight is all the way on your heels. Do a double check and make sure that you can actually see your toes. Take a nice inhale to lengthen your spine. And on your exhale, swing your arms down and back, bow into your hips. Inhale to come up, lengthening, and exhale to contract and come back towards your center of your body. Last time, inhale, come up, stretch your legs long, and in your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, put your hands down, hop, step, or walk all the way to the ground or chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Paddle your feet, take any movements that you need. We're going to inhale, reach your right heel up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Holding here on your inhale. And on your exhale, drop that knee down to the ground. Inhale to lift it off the floor. Exhale, knee down to the ground. Inhale to lift. Exhale to step in between your hands. Find your runner's lunge. Your head is in a diagonal all the way with your back leg. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling for high lunge. Exhale, bend your back knee a little bit and spring that back leg to the front up into your hip height. Lower your arms down to your side. Let's do that a little bit more fluid. Inhale to your high lunge. Exhale, knee to nose. Yeah, why not? Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, knee up. Circle your arms around, bring them behind your head. Again, find that attachment. Take a nice inhale and center. On your exhale, open to the side of your mat as much or as little as you want, and then step into your goddess pose. Whew. You can wiggle your hips, move them around, just to set up in this pose. We're gonna take a nice inhale here, and on your exhale, hinge all the way down to your front knee and down and around for the biggest circle yet. Inhale and center. Exhale to hinge and go down and around. Last time, inhale to center. Exhale to hinge, going down and around. On your next inhale, stretch your legs. Point your toes towards one another. Hinge at your hips and find your wide-legged forward fold. Take a minute in here. You can make this pose very active by engaging your quads, pointing your tailbone towards the ground, towards the ceiling, and play around with your weight. Is it all the way onto your heels, or is it all the way onto the ball of your foot? Shake your head, yes and no. Let all the tension go. Make sure you're still breathing. Place your hands underneath your face. Take an inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, float your arms beside your body in a T position and come all the way to standing. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, pivot your front toes to the front of your mat, bend at your knee, warrior two. Take a nice inhale in here and settle in your warrior. Take a peek at your front toes and make sure that your knee is not collapsing inwards. You want to relax your tailbone down so that that knee can rotate, externally rotate. Bring your back arm down towards your leg. Take an inhale to reverse your warrior. And an exhale to come back to center. Inhale to stretch your front knee. Heel toe your back foot a little bit. And exhale to reach forward with your front arm and down into your Trikonasana, triangle pose. Take a good inhale in here. And a full exhale. Take a peek around, and if you do have a block, make sure it's nearby. On your next inhale, lengthen through your top arm and circle it down and in the front of your mat. Bend at your back knee a little bit and spring your leg up to the ceiling for a second round or of standing splits. Grab your block if you have one, and bring both hands up onto your block. Make sure that your hips are very square, because this is where we break the rules. You're going to inhale and open your hips so that they stack on one another, and exhale to square them back. Inhale to open them. It's okay if you fall. Exhale to square them. Find that control on your core. Inhale to open and stay there. Either stay there, or you can float your left hand to your left hip for floating half moon. It's okay to fall. Stay there for a second. If it's available to you, you can float that arm up to the ceiling and look up. And once you've had enough, come all the way down, bring your feet together beside one another and roll all the way up. You're gonna inhale, reach your right knee up to hip height, and exhale, bring your hands to hug your knee. Now from here, we're going to inhale to bring your knee closer to your chest. And on your exhale, we're gonna tuck your chin to your chest and start going towards your knee. Take another inhale in here. And on your exhale, either stay or find that hinge over your supporting hip into your flamingo pose. I've never done this pose before, but I thought it was funny. So go ahead. You have your thigh very close to your chest. And you can slide your hands all the way down to your ankle if that's more comfortable. Once you had enough for this, keep your legs where they are. Make sure that your knees come close together and unravel into dancer's pose. Who would have thought the dancer pose was the easiest pose of today? Take a nice inhale in here. Make sure that you're pressing your foot against your hand. You're lengthening that front hip. And once you had enough, let it all go and go into your dance break number 1. Woof. Shake it all out, making sure that you relax those legs, maybe swing around. You know those, I was in a class this week with like younger kids, and you remember those little toys that was like a drum, and it had like 2 little dangly things that you will go like around? They did not know what that was, and I was very sad that I am very old. No, just kidding. Okay, let's come to the front of your mat because you guessed it right. Other side. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale to hinge at your hips. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, put your hands down, hop, step, or walk into your vinyasa flow chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, reach your left heel up to the ceiling on an inhale. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale to lift off a little bit. Exhale to drop your knee to the ground. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, drop it up. Inhale to lift. Exhale, step into your hands. Find your runner's lunge. Your hands beside your body. I like this pose because it looks like a rocket. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling for high lunge. Exhale to bend a little bit on your back knee and spring that knee up to hip height in front of your body. Lower your arms beside your hips. Inhale to high lunge. Arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to high lunge. Exhale, knee to nose. Just do one more for good measure. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, knee to nose. Circle your arms down and around behind your head. Take a nice inhale in here. And on your exhale, open everything to the side of your mat and find your goddess pose. Once again, take any movements that you need today for your goddess pose. We're going to inhale, lengthen your spine, separate every vertebrae, and on your exhale, hinge to the front and find your big circle down and around. Inhale and center. Exhale to hinge and find your circle. A little bit bigger every time. Inhale and center. Exhale to hinge, circle. This time inhale, center, stretch your legs, and this time interlace your fingers behind your back. Pivot your toes to almost face one another and circle your shoulders up and down and around before you hinge at your hips for your wide-legged forward fold. You can stay here with your hands, or you can lift your hands up off your back for a little bit of a stretch on your shoulders. Shake your head, yes and no. Whenever you're ready, bring your hands back onto your back and slide them behind your legs, giving yourself a little massage. Squeeze those hammies, squeeze those calves. You can tap them. You can slap them nicely. And when you're ready, bring your hands underneath your face. You can bend at your knees a little and take your time to roll up to stand. Take a nice inhale to reach up to the ceiling. And on your exhale, pivot your toes, your front toes to the front of your mat, warrior two. Imagine that someone's pulling your arms on the opposite sides. And at the same time, you are drawing your tailbone down towards the ground. Take a nice inhale, a long inhale here. Open your mouth and exhale. On your next inhale, bring your back hand up to your back thigh, reverse your warrior. And on your exhale, come back to center. Inhale to stretch that front knee, heel toe your back foot. And exhale to hinge forward, lengthening your front arm forward and then down into your Trikonasana triangle pose. Make sure that you're stacking your shoulders one on top of another. And here's the trick. Can you reach up towards the ceiling as opposed to reaching down towards the ground? You want to be holding yourself up. On your next exhale, circle that top arm down and to the front of your mat. Find your block and then find your standing splits. Square your hips. Make sure both hip bones are looking towards the ground. You can flex that back foot a lot. Inhale to open your hips, stacking it one on top of another. Exhale to square. There, go even a little bit slower than what you want. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Stay there. Or bring your right hand up to your right hip. Again, stay there. Embrace the falls. Or float that right arm up to the ceiling. You can look up to the ceiling as well. Once you had enough of this, bring your feet together and roll yourself up to standing. Inhale, reach up your arms and your left knee to hip height. Exhale, bring your hands around your knee. Your foot can be either flexed or pointed. Inhale to lengthen your spine, lift your knee a little bit more, and exhale to tuck your chin to your chest, come towards your knee, nose to knee. Inhaling here, either stay or exhale to find your flamingo. Once again, you can slide your hands down towards your ankle if that is better for you. Make sure that your core is helping you up in here. Once you had enough, let that knee drop a little bit down, grab your foot and find your dancer's pose. You can open your chest a little bit more, but let your hips stay square and long in the front. Another version of, or a different variation of dancers is you can hinge at your hip and your supporting hip all you want to keep that contact with your foot and your hand. And whenever you're ready, let it all go, shake it all out. Dance break number 2. I know, it's a little bit rough on that supporting leg. Whenever you're ready, come to the front of your mat. Almost there, everyone. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale to hinge at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, find your flow all the way to the ground or into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready, bring both of your knees behind both of your wrists and sit on your heels. We can either stay here, or if you know how to set up for sleeping hero, just go for it. I like to place a block on the length of my spine so that I can go all the way down. Before you do anything, do make sure that you bring your hip bones up to the ceiling Engage your glutes and then lower them towards your heels so that we get a little bit of a quad stretch. You can stay in your hands, lower all the way down to your forearms or elbows, or you can bring your back all the way down to the floor for your sleeping here. I feel like more than a back bend, this pose is more of a quad stretch. You can keep your glutes engaged to protect that lower back, because that also helps your abs to stay engaged. Couple more breaths in here. When you're ready, start coming up or out of your sleeping hero. You can tuck your chin to your chest and then roll all the way up. Place your block to the side. Make a big circle with your arms on an inhale. Exhale, bring them down towards the ground. Pike at your hips and then step into your downward facing dog. Very nice, everyone. Take a nice inhale, reach your right heel up to the ceiling. And on your exhale, bring that knee behind your right wrist for pigeon pose. Making sure that your back leg, it's internally rotated, parallel. To all my dancers out there, just for today, don't turn out your legs, your back leg at least. You can either stay here or come all the way down to the ground. I like to put a block to support my head, and it allows me to relax a little bit more into this pose. If you want a little bit more of a restorative variation of this, do rock your weight all the way out onto your front hip. When you're ready, come back to your center and push into your downward facing dog. I like to transfer my weight to your hands, tuck my toe under, and then step into your back down dog. Reach your left leg long to the ceiling. Set up for the other side of pigeon. Either stay here or come down all the way down to the ground. Check in with your body and see if there's any places that you feel sticky. Send some breath into those places. For pigeon is usually the hip. When you're ready, carefully start to bring yourself back up, press into your hands, and find your downward facing dog. You can stay here or go to child's pose or meet me for a last flow. Very slowly, we're going to inhale, roll into your plank. Exhale for Chaturanga Dandasana, bend at your elbows, hug your elbows towards your body. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll your shoulders, pike your hips up, downward facing dog. Wiggle your hips, take any movement or find stillness. If you want to hop through, go ahead, or just tap your knees down to the ground, sit on your hips, and swing your legs forward. Bend your knees so that your feet are on the ground. We're going to take a nice inhale up, reach your arms up to the ceiling. And on your exhale, lower one vertebrae towards the ground. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, two vertebrae. Actually, let us grab our block just for fun, just because it's right there. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, three vertebrae, bring your block in front of your face. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, give me four vertebrae and either stay here or float your legs off the ground. Let us just chill in here. Look at your belly. All of those thoughts that you're having, look at them, acknowledge them, and let them go. I know, see the belly shake. Whenever you're ready, lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Place your block just beside your hips on the side. Bring your feet to the ground. You're almost wanting to be able to reach towards your heels with your index finger. We're going to inhale in here. And on your exhale, peel your tailbone off the ground. Come into your bridge. Inhale to melt your heart down towards the ground and roll all the way down one vertebra at a time. Inhale in center. Exhale to peel your tailbone and reach for your bridge. Reach for your bridge. It's gonna be a new jingle. Inhale in here and exhale to melt down. One last time. Inhale in center. Exhale to peel your tailbone off the ground and holding there. You can either stay there for a few more breaths or bring your block just underneath your hips and your sacrum and find a restorative version of your bridge by extending your legs down to the mat. If you do not choose to do that, that's all right. Just keep on holding your block. Your bridge. Just a couple more breaths. When you're ready, whether you're on a bridge or a restorative bridge, start to come down and bring your knees to your chest. Give them a nice little hug. Rock them from side to side. Extend your arms beside your body in a T position or in a cactus shape if you don't have too much space. And let your knees drop to one side. Any side. Find your twist. On your next exhale, compress your belly towards its center and bring your knees up to center. Take a full inhale on your center. And exhale towards the other side. Twisting towards the other side. On your next exhale, come back to center. Give your knees a last little hug or a big hug. You can even let your knees drop a little bit towards your armpits if that feels good to you. And when you're ready, bring your feet to the ground. The soles of your feet are together, dropping your knees down towards opposite sides for reclined butterfly, cobbler's pose. Once again, bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Inhale into your belly, into your ribs, into your chest, and let it all go. Inflate your belly as much as you can. Match it up with your ribs and see your chest rise. And let it all go. One last time into your belly, ribs, chest. Either stay here or stretch one leg at a time long into your final resting pose, Shavasana. You can keep your hands on your body or take as much space as you want. Close your eyes. Slowly let go of the control over your breath. And start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe circle your ankles, your wrist. Stretch one arm beside your ear and roll onto your side. Very slowly until you press down on the ground and find a comfortable sitting position. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for letting me guide your practice today. The energy within me bows to the energy within you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.